Hello and welcome to lesson 1.2. We are going to start by looking at this math message. So take a look. It says which number is larger and about how much larger. And underneath this little button, it says to first kind of read these numbers to yourself. So think about how you would say these. What we're going to do is we're going to group this chunk together, right? We're going to kind of use this comma as a dividing line. So we're going to say 46. Now, when we get to this comma, that's our cue to say 1,000. So this number is 46,385, right? Then when we look at how we would say this number, which is one of our goals here in fourth grade, we're going to group this and get to this chunk together now. 463. When we get to the comma, we say 1,000. 463,850. So hopefully you're noticing something about the digits in these numbers. So which number is larger? If we look at that, trying to figure that out, right? And I know you might have a pretty good idea as to which one's larger, but let's look at the place value and as to why. So when we look at the different places here, which digit is in the hundreds place? Well, the 3 is in the hundreds, and so what's its value? How much it's worth, right? It's worth 300s or 300. Then the ones place, well, there's ones right there. There's a 5, and it's worth 5. The 10,000s place, this is where people sometimes get mixed up. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So that number is 4, and what's its value? Way down here, 40,000. Okay. Now, when we shifted those digits over, and if you can see, it's the same 5 digits, but now we have a 0 here. Now we have a 0 in the ones place, so it's worth 0. Which digit is in the hundred thousands place? Careful, hundred thousands. 4 is in the hundred thousands, right? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands. And what's it worth? It's worth 400,000. How about in the tens place? We have a 5. And what is it worth? It's worth 50, right? So this place value is going to help us to determine, to compare numbers, right? Greater than or less than. So which number is larger? Of course, this is probably what we were thinking about, right? Because it has more. But how much larger is it? Well, it's about, well, not just about, it is 10 times as large as this number. Because yesterday, or when we did lesson 1.1, we said every time we move a number to the left, it goes up times 10, right? Which is what we've done with all of these numbers. So keeping that in mind will help us to complete this objective, to compare numbers through the hundred thousands place. And that comes in our standard here also, where it talks about comparing two whole numbers. So when we look at which number is larger, now we have 5 digits for each numbers, right? Each number up into the 10,000s place. So we can start with the 10,000s place. Here we have a 4, and here we have a 4. Each of those is worth 40,000, so we can't determine that. So now let's go to the thousands place. Here we have a 7, and here we have an 8, right? Which means that this number is larger. And when we draw the little mouth guy, the mouth, the greater than, less than signs, the mouth always eats the number that is larger. Okay? So let's look at a couple more here. Um, Here's our next one, 34,212 and 44,886. Well, these are both 5-digit numbers, so we can just start at the first number for each. We have a 3 worth 30,000 and a 4 worth 40,000. So our larger number has to be this one, 44,886. How about these two numbers? They both have 5 digits. Here we have a 7, and here we have a 7. So those are kind of tied. We go to the next number, the next digit. We have 4,000 here and 1,000 here. So our mouth eats the number on the left. Now be careful because, so far we've seen numbers that have the same amount of digits. But this one has 5 digits and this one has this one has 6 digits and this one has 5. So you can't just always just look for the first number, right? 5, 9, so this one's bigger. Well, that's not true, right? Because this 9 right here is worth 90,000, but this 5 is worth 500,000. It's like there's an imaginary 0 right here in front of this 9. So even though this is a 5 and this is a 9, they're in different place values. So 500,000, this number isn't even higher than 100,000. So the 500,000 has to be higher. And we'll see one more here. Which is larger? See, we have 897 in the 100,000, 10,000s, and thousands, and the same here. But then when we get to 700, there's no hundreds over here. So our number on the right is larger. Right? So our goal today, right, being able to compare numbers through the hundred thousands place. What are you going to work on? You're going to work on this math journal page. It's not math boxes. It's just math journal page number 4. Same thing that we were doing right up here at the top, greater than or less than, making the mouth eat the larger number. And then when you get down into this section, you're going to use this table, right? This is called a table, kind of not like your kitchen table, right? But a multiple meaning word with this data about the attendance. Attendance is how many people go to, in this case, a sporting event, in this case, a hockey game for hockey teams. So you're going to read these questions that go with the table and answer those. And then down here, right, you get to, this is still using that same data. So that's your goal today. Today we have learned how to compare numbers, right? Not just thinking about, what digits we see in terms of which one's first, but really thinking about the value of those digits and how it determines how much the entire number is worth. All right, good luck.